Hey guys, today I would like to do a review on the iPad mini tools. What's it like to use the iPad mini 2 in 2021. With this guy, it has been released 8 years ago and it has been released in 2013. Now let's take a look on the outside after 8 years. And so like with the scratch and with the crack, I have like the crack on the screen here. I drop it many times, and you can see it is face down, so it cracked on the top right and on the top left, but it no done at all. And from here it cracked from the top all the way to the bottom. And with the iPad mini 2 we have the speaker here, and at the back we have the microphone including the camera with it is capable of record 1080p. It still has the headphone jack, and one feature that was missing is Touch ID, and which means if you want to use the passcode, you have to manually type in the passcode in order to unlock your iPad mini 2. With the performance on iOS 12, I can say it is in the middle. It is not too slow or too fast. Sometimes it lags when I jump into the app or switch from app to app. With this one, we have slide overview, which means you have one app running on the top of the other app. But one feature that was missing is a split screen, which means you can run two apps side by side. But with the iPad mini 2, Apple has been eliminated, but it still has the description inside setting. I don't know why Apple eliminated, and it is the feature that I need the most. Now if I go into setting and go into general and multitasking and dock, if you read the detail here, it says drag application from dock or home screen to create split view and slide over apps, and you can see we have split view and slide over app. But if I am trying to enable split view, it doesn't work. Let's say I go into the App Store here. Now if I try to run Safari side by side, it doesn't work, so you can see. But it only works with a slide overview where you can have the app on the top of the other. So we have Safari on the top of the App Store. So which means if I use Safari here, I cannot use the App Store. And if I use the App Store, I cannot use Safari. And that's why I prefer split screen the most. Now let's talk about supported app. So on the iOS 12 on your iPad mini 2, like I have here, it is 12.5.3. Most of the apps are supported. It is all with the iOS 12. So now you can see I have, like, for example, I can also use Netflix, which I can watch the movie or TV shows directly from my iPad mini 2. Right there, you can see. And talking about social media like Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, or even Twitter, they are all working. You can see how Facebook is still fully working on my iPad mini 2, and including Instagram. We also have Instagram, but you need to zoom in because Instagram only natively support with the iPhone. But if you are using with the iPad, you need to zoom in by clicking on this button. It is going to zoom it in. And one more app that maybe you are using the most is YouTube, where you can watch online video and stuff like that. It is still working well on my iPad mini 2 here. And now let's talk about Geekbench Score. I have already tested and run it before. So with the iPad mini 2, we have 1GB of RAM, and we have S1 processor with 1.30 GHz. And if you take a look on my Geekbench Score here, so we have around, so on single core we have 264 and multi-core is 495. So it is slightly slower than the iPhone 5s. So now you can see on my iPhone 5s here, it has 1GB of RAM. I don't know why it's so different compared to my iPad mini 2. It only have like 972 megabyte, but from my iPhone 5s, it is 1000 megabyte here, which is around 1GB. And if you take a look on the Geekbench Score, so now let me take a look here. Right there on my iPhone 5s is around 276 in single score, and then we have 514. It is slightly different, but you can tell here the iPhone 5s is a bit faster. Talking about high graphic game like PUBG or Asphalt 8, they are all still playable on the iPad mini 2 with no issues, but sometimes it slows down your iPad when you are playing it. And one more thing, you're gonna notice the heat here. The temperature has been increased over time while you are playing game, because S1 processor it consumes a ton of battery if you compare to the new one like A11 or A12 Bionic chips. But with this device it is still playable, like some game like that, and a shooting game like Modern Combat Versus. It is also support on the iPad mini 2. If you take a look on the compatibility here, you can see iPad mini 2 is still playable. Lastly, I'm gonna talk about the battery life. So as my experience from the past 8 years with the iPad mini 2, since the first time that I purchased it and until now, the battery is very good, and it's still like I can play game up to like an hour and a half. And talking about like watching video and stuff like that, it can last a day, and I am very enjoy using it. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the battery capacity on the iPad because Apple didn't include it, just like on the iPhone. But you can tell here, it is when it is screen on, it is 5 hours and 56 minutes. And I use YouTube most of the time, like streaming here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and then I will see you guys in the next one.